Well, everybody, it looks like the Redskins accomplished nothing at the trade deadline.
To me whatsoever. I have nothing to do with such idiocy.
Trent Williams will not be traded. Josh Norman will not be traded. Ryan Kerrigan, Adrian Peterson, Paul Richardson. But most importantly is the whole Trent Williams saga with the Browns. Trent Williams, who is possibly 2 games away from being fully healthy and ready to play, is being shopped by the Redskins to whoever's offering the best package. And there's reportedly been a 2nd round pick available that's already on the table that a team is trying to give to the Redskins to get Trent Williams. But the Redskins are standing firm and trying to get a 1st round pick or at least a really good player in return. I've seen packages including David Njoku, Kareem Hunt, some later round picks. But the main thing that I'm seeing out here is the Redskins tried to get Denzel Ward, who was just recently a top 5 pick, shutdown corner. And the Redskins cannot possibly think that the Browns are willing to give up a Denzel Ward for a Trent Williams.
I'm glad you brung it up because I've been dying to talk about it.
Who's definitely, if anything, on a decline in his career. And also, he wants a new contract. So if you trade for him, then you have to figure out how you're going to pay for him in the future. There was increasing momentum for this trade to actually get done. I actually was thinking maybe Bruce Allen might actually do something right for the first time in his career. And lo and behold, 4 p.m., trade deadline reached.
Cut the cameras.
And I'm just curious, from Bruce Allen's point of view, what did you expect to get in return for Trent Williams in the last 48 hours before the trade deadline? You had since September to move this man, had a lot of leverage. You saw that Laramie Tunsil, who may be younger, but is clearly not even close to as good as Trent Williams, was traded for 2 first-round picks. 2 first-round picks and a 2nd rounder. I mean, the Dolphins threw Kenny Stills in there also, the wide receiver, but he didn't add much value to that. The Redskins easily could have jumped on that opportunity. We could have done Trent Williams and Paul Richardson for 2 firsts and maybe 2 seconds or a 2nd and a 4th. Because Trent Williams definitely has more value than a Laramie Tunsil, especially to a team like the Texans that are trying to win now. So Bruce Allen, you waited to the last 48 hours of the trade deadline to try to move Trent Williams, minimalizing all of your leverage, and then you have the nerve to be naive about what value you can actually get back for him. Just like the Jets out here looking for a 2nd round pick for Robbie Anderson, but the highest offer out there for him is a 4th rounder. Y'all really fumbled the bag with this Trent Williams situation. Maybe you can get some good value from him in the offseason, but the best value you could have possibly gotten for him, especially with him being an older, great player, is trading him to a team that's trying to win now, as teams are trying to make a playoff push. So not trading him in September, which is when his value was at the highest, or at least early October, was a bad move, Bruce Allen. And Dan Snyder, you need to be ashamed of yourself for still letting this man run things. The blame is on you too.
Hello, excuse me, are y'all on drugs or something?
This Trent Williams thing got dark. We went from could have gotten 2 first-round picks for Trent Williams from the Texans to the Browns offering multiple mid-round picks for Trent Williams. Meanwhile, we asking for 1st and Denzel Ward, a corner in this league with one of the brightest futures in the NFL. Very young and on a rookie contract. You think they were just going to give him up for Trent Williams?
Who does that?
Even though Denzel Ward hasn't played a lot, but still, the value is definitely there. And Trent Williams for Denzel Ward is easily something I can see the Browns just laughing at. I just don't see what Bruce Allen is doing. But moving on from Trent Williams, y'all boy Bruceless also tried to trade Josh Norman. And I don't know what value he expected to get for him. We would have been lucky to get a bag of Skittles back for that man. First of all, his contract is huge. Like huge. He's a $14 million cap hit this year and a $15.5 million cap hit next year. And he's 31 years old. And he's been hurt recently. And he hasn't played well at all this season. I do not know how Bruceless still has a job. If he really actually expected to be able to move Josh Norman this soon. Because again, maybe if you were shopping him earlier in the season, you could have gotten some decent value. But now you waited till after he's played poorly, he's been injured, he's been getting burnt. I know that goes with plays poorly, but he's been getting burnt so much, that's a whole separate point. And now you think just in the last couple of days you can just trade this man away for some value that makes sense? With how big his contract is, we're probably going to have to trade Josh Norman and a pick to another team for a low pick just to do a salary dump. Just like the Rams just did with Aqib Talib trading them to the Dolphins. Josh Norman's value is literally like a negative right now. Excluding Josh Norman, we would have to give them more value than they would give back just so we can get rid of the money that he's owed.
Which is what's most disgusting about it.
And then when it comes to Ryan Kerrigan, Adrian Peterson, Landon Collins, Paul Richardson, I'm not surprised they didn't get moved. There were rumors, and I could kind of see it with maybe like a Ryan Kerrigan, who was receiving a lot of interest from teams making a playoff push that need edge rusher really bad, like the Ravens, the Bears, the Chiefs. And we probably could have gotten a first round pick for him too. But the Redskins didn't budge, so we still have Ryan Kerrigan on the roster, even though he is having a down year. Adrian Peterson is probably some type of high commodity right now too. But as of right now, he's literally all we have left as a running back that matters. Darius Geis just practiced Monday and he may return week 11, but there's no betting on that. Definitely don't bank on it. And even if he does, will he be able to stay healthy? Will he be effective? I'm not surprised the Redskins were not budging on Adrian Peterson unless it was just like a first round pick or something. And then Paul Richardson having a down year and getting paid more than what he's worth. And Landon Collins with a huge contract that may not cost a lot this year, but will in the future. I'm not surprised at all that none of those players were moved today. But what I am surprised about is why I'm still a fan of this team.
That, you know, and they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
This is just classic Bruceless and Dan Snyder. I know we all did not expect for us to make any reasonable decisions in the past 48 hours, but I still hope. And it's so annoying because Bruceless Allen usually does make moves at the last second. Like he believes that's just a smart strategy.
Such blasphemy.
But the NFL is on to you. And even if they weren't on to you, this was just a bad time to do it. Like I said earlier, Trent Williams' trade value was at its highest in September, early October. And then Bruce Allen had the nerve to try to lowball people and act like we were the ones with the most leverage. I'm pretty sure some NFL GMs and organizations were offended by Bruce Allen's strategy.
This is so disrespectful. It really is.
But at least some good news. Safety Jamal Adams from the Jets was trying to get out of there and go back home to Texas to play for the Cowboys, and the deal did not get done. Thank goodness. That's some of the only good news I've heard all today. It was kind of interesting that the Redskins were looking for a big-time wide receiver also in return for Trent Williams. And that wasn't just for the Browns, that was for any team in the NFL. So apparently they want to invest in Dwayne Haskins' development, which is a cool sign. But all words and no action doesn't help us at all and doesn't help Dwayne Haskins. Oh wow, breaking news. Trent Williams has reported back to the Redskins.
Finally!
This is very interesting. Trent Williams' holdout is now over.
This is something else.
So since Trent Williams reported to the Redskins today, he prevented his contract from tolling. He's due $5,823,529 in base salary for the rest of 2019, plus $15,625 for each game he's active. And then he's due $12.5 million next year. So now this year will actually count towards Trent Williams' contract. Because if he held out for the entire year, this year's contract would have just been moved back and he still would have had 2 years left on his contract, making him stay on the Redskins even longer, which is what he doesn't want. And I know some are going to say that Bruce Allen won because he found a way to get Trent Williams to report back to camp. But no, nobody won. Trent Williams didn't win. Bruce Allen didn't win. Dan Snyder, the whole Redskins team, the whole Redskins fan base, we all lose in this situation. It was just a war of pettiness and not production or value. Po Trent though. I know that man was on Twitter just refreshing over and over again, hoping to see his name got traded. And I know he saw a few of those fake Twitter accounts that kept reporting that he was traded and just kept having heart attacks. I'm pretty sure he blocked a few people today. But man, that's crazy that the Browns got to the point they knew the Redskins were desperate and started only offering Bruce Allen mid-round picks. Yeah. Bruce Allen, you did it to yourself. I appreciate you for not just getting desperate and biting on that and taking it, but you put yourself in this situation to only get mid-round picks from one of the best left tackles to ever do it.
Somebody's got to say it, so I'm going to do it.
Are you dumb?
Now we just got to see if he actually ends up playing. He might try to pull a trick to go straight to the IR.
Oh, no. No.
Wow.
I honestly don't know what to expect with Trent Williams. It's hard to make a prediction. Will he play? Even when he does play, will he put his all into it? Will he get hurt? I don't know what we're about to do. But on the bright side, since Trent Williams is back, throwing Haskins out there for his first start doesn't look as bleak.
Yes! Yes!
Somebody will actually be able to protect his blind side finally. And Ereck Flowers has played well all year except for last game. With Trent Williams back to help him out some, Dwayne Haskins should be good from the left side. We just got to worry about that right side. With Morgan Moses failing and getting infinite penalties, Brandon Sheriff having an off year, and Chase Roulier also having an off year. Brandon Sheriff is still great, but he's had more bad plays this year than I remember him ever having. And now we got to see if Trent Williams is willing to make peace. He put himself in this situation, so I do not really feel sorry for him. But at the same time, he plays for the Redskins, and I feel sorry for anybody who has to deal with this organization.
How many people were scared? Me too.
So there's several options. He could stay here and actually want to be here, play well, help Haskins. We can end up re-signing him, or we can just hold on to him and trade him in the offseason, or he can find a way to just not play this season, get injured or something. That would be an incredible turn of events if we end up extending him.
That's what we've been waiting for.
And like I said, even though we didn't trade Trent Williams, I am happy that Bruce Allen didn't fold and just get desperate and trade him just for anything and get minimal value back. But one last thing before I go, and it is bad news. It has been reported very recently that Trent Williams has no intention of playing this season. But I'm done babbling. I'm gonna let y'all get on with y'all day. Appreciate y'all pulling up. Please get in them comments and let me know how you feel about this entire situation. On a scale of 1 to 10, how mad are you at Bruce Allen, Dan Snyder, and the Redskins organization? Are you happy to see Trent back? Do you think we'll end up trading Trent or extending him? Or the worst possible option, just letting him play his contract out and becoming a free agent? And are you surprised that Josh Norman didn't get moved? But that's it for this regular season episode of Redskins Report. Thanks for the view. Please subscribe if you haven't. Like up this video if you enjoyed it. I'm going to keep bringing that content non-stop. And again, make sure y'all Dolomite fake punch that like button. Favorite the video, subscribe if you haven't. I'll catch y'all later. I'm out.